Let's talk about the NHL. They're opening negotiations next week with the union on a new collective bargaining agreement, and they're talking some radical changes. As we just saw with the Four Nations tournament, it was spectacular. And I said Gary Bettman should just send out a memo that the All-Star game, as we've known it in the past, is gone for good. Let's do something internationally. Well, they can't do a Four Nations tournament on a year-by-year basis. There's a lot of complexities with the different hockey federations and other global tournaments. They're talking about, though, in 2026, because we do have the Olympics coming, they're talking about having Team North America versus Team World in an all-star game. That'd be cool. That's what I want to see, because you have all the great Euros, be they from Russia, from France, Germany, wherever. All the great European players, Scandinavia included, would go against the Team North America. Best players from USA, best players from Canada. I like that idea. That's one thing that's being discussed. They are talking, and I don't know if this is good for the game, because of the Olympics in 2026. They're talking about a 3-week hiatus, stopping the schedule in the games for 3 full weeks. A lot of players are probably like that because of the wear and tear factor of playing the grind of a schedule, but they're talking about that. And they're also talking about changing overtime. They're talking about, instead of a 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3 on the ice, make it a 10-minute overtime, 3-on-3, make it on the ice, followed by a shootout if the game is still tied. So those are things that they're discussing. Are you standing with Gary Bettman? You agree with all this or disagree?
Well, the Four Nations thing was such a success. Why go backwards and have it like continent versus continent? You know, when he had specific nations, it made it kind of interesting. I would think you keep that format and maybe even try to get other nations involved in it.
I don't know there's enough players, though. You know, there are a lot of Russians that are playing in the NHL. But what about these other countries? There's hardly any players from Poland or Hungary, Yugoslavia. I don't know that you could put together different teams representing different countries, whereas if you just make it a Euro team with all the great Scandinavians and the top players from Russia, Belarus, and whomever else is out there, I think you'd have a great team against a great North American team of Team USA Canada.
Well, that's the easy way to do it. I mean, remember they did USA World in the NBA, and that seemed to be pretty good. So yeah, why not? You know, let's just. I like the 3-week break though.
Okay, 3 weeks away. That's like, would you like baseball stopping for 3 full weeks?
Well, if I had the World Baseball Classic to watch in between, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long season. Nice to take a break.
One other hockey note. This story just broke. This is kind of cool. And I'm going to direct this towards the fans here in San Diego. You know, the San Diego Gulls have been in a rebuild mode for a couple of years, and they had a hot stretch. They played really well. Now they've lost 3 in a row. Anyhow, the Anaheim Ducks, the parent club, signing college players and sending them in here for the final month of the American Hockey League season. They just signed one of their draft picks. And I would hope hockey fans here will go to a Gulls game and support this guy. It was a draft pick by the name of Will Francis, Minnesota kid, went to the University of Minnesota Duluth. They just got knocked out of the playoffs. Anyhow, he has signed a pro contract. He's coming to San Diego to begin his career for the last month of the AHL season with the Gulls. Big kid, defenseman, was highly regarded. 3-time leukemia survivor.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely amazing story of dedication. And he came back and he played this year at Minnesota Duluth after missing almost to the effect 2+ seasons of college hockey. Kid got sick, I think, at the end of high school, got sick again twice while at the Minnesota Duluth. His name is Will Francis. He's a defenseman who was highly regarded. A lot of clubs passed on him just because of the sickness. And the Ducks took him, I think, in the 5th round. They just signed him this morning. He's coming here. He'll be with the Gulls this weekend as they play on the road, and then he'll be here for the homestand at the end of the season. But thumbs up to the kid. Think about that. He fought leukemia. It's come back 3 times, and he's beaten it.
Yeah, that's a young man to root for right there. Yeah, San Diego Gulls.
Okay, that's all things hockey. Fans Forum chat box is open.